The horse trainer took one look at the skinny little colt in front of him. He knew right away this colt had the makings of a champion, but his boss laughed at him. The colt's awkward running style looked almost ridiculous. Even so, the trainer never doubted his own judgment.
It just needs to learn how to be a horse again.
That unwavering confidence finally won his boss over. He bought the colt for next to nothing, the lowest price at the entire sale. Little did he know, that seemingly reckless decision would one day shock all of America. The unwanted horse nobody believed in would go on to become a legendary champion, winning every major race that mattered. This legendary story began with a racehorse named Seabiscuit. He came from an outstanding bloodline. His father had been a champion. He was supposed to inherit that greatness. Instead, reality had other plans.
Get rid of him.
From the day he was born, Seabiscuit was much smaller than the other foals. At just 6 months old, his owner had already written him off as the weak link in an elite bloodline. Without a second thought, he gave him away. But the new trainer soon lost patience too. The little horse did nothing but eat and sleep. He was only half the size of the other horses, yet he ate twice as much. He was nothing more than a big eater. To force him to run, the trainer relied on one brutal method.
I want you to hit him as many times as you can over a quarter of a mile.
But all those merciless whippings never unlocked his potential. Instead, they left him terrified of people, and terrified of the racetrack. Before long, everyone decided he was beyond saving. Seabiscuit's life took a devastating turn. He became nothing more than a training horse. His only job was to lose on purpose. The jockeys held him back so the promising young horses could beat him, building their confidence before real races. For a racehorse, there was no greater humiliation. Day after day, he endured hunger, humiliation, and endless frustration. They turned him into a fierce, aggressive horse. He hated the world, and he hated anyone who tried to get close to him, until one forgotten morning, he met the only man who could truly see him, horse trainer Tom Smith. Standing before Tom was a horse barely 15 hands high, thin, covered in scars. But after one look, Tom saw something no one else could. Behind those wild eyes was the fighting spirit of a true competitor. Tom knew that size and speed alone never decided a race. The heart to keep fighting was what truly mattered. Ignoring everyone's objections, he insisted that his boss buy the horse.
What exactly is it you like?
Got spirit.
But that unbreakable fighting spirit was also a double-edged sword. Seabiscuit's fierce temper kept everyone at a distance. The experienced riders Tom brought in couldn't even get a saddle on him before running away in fear. Just when Tom was running out of ideas, the answer came to him on its own. With his keen eye for talent, he spotted another soul burning with the same unyielding spirit on the other side of the ranch. A young man was taking on 4 men by himself. The determination to fight to the very end was exactly the same as the proud, untamed horse in the stable. At that moment, Tom knew he had found the only man who could ride Seabiscuit. Maybe it was fate. Red's life was strikingly similar to Seabiscuit's. He had been born into a wealthy family, but after the Great Depression, his family lost everything. His parents left him behind at a racetrack. He had remarkable riding skills, but without money or connections, every door remained closed. Just to survive, he fought in brutal underground boxing matches. He slept on freezing train station benches, because they had lived through the same kind of pain. The moment their eyes met, they understood each other without saying a word. Red instantly saw Seabiscuit's anger and his loneliness.
I'm not afraid of you. Sure. I know what you're all about.
Instead of trying to force the horse into submission, he held out half an apple. Looking into Red's eyes, Seabiscuit saw the same scars, the same pride. For the first time, he lowered his guard, and for the first time, he allowed a human to climb onto his back. Their first training session didn't go well. Seabiscuit stumbled all over the track. He couldn't find his rhythm. Tom saw the problem immediately. The horse had been completely conditioned by the way he had been trained. For years, he had been forced to circle the track as a pacer. He had forgotten what he had been born to do, to awaken the spirit sleeping inside him. Tom made a bold decision. He took Seabiscuit away from the racetrack that held all those painful memories. He brought him to a wide open field. Then he gave Red one simple instruction. Drop the reins. Let him run. Let him stop when he decides to stop. The moment his hooves touched the soft earth, the instinct to run that had been buried deep inside him finally came alive. He ran faster and faster, releasing 3 years of suppressed spirit and untamed energy. As Red bounced violently in the saddle, he finally realized the horse carrying him was never a washed-up reject. He was a true champion finally set free. Little by little, their unlikely team of 3 began to take shape. Together, they moved to their owner's ranch and began preparing for real training. But years of trauma had left deep scars on Seabiscuit. Even in a comfortable new stable, he still cried out constantly. Tom, with all his years of experience, knew the real problem was loneliness. He first brought over a little sheep to keep Seabiscuit company. Then he explained, smart ones hate being alone all the time. The moment he finished speaking, the frightened sheep bolted out of the stall. That idea failed, so Tom came up with another one. This time, he led in a gentle, beautiful mare and put her into Seabiscuit's stall. Even the toughest warrior can't resist promised a gentle companion. This time, it worked, with someone by his side. Seabiscuit finally found the piece he had been missing. For the first time, he quietly fell asleep. Now it was time to awaken his instincts as a racer. Tom's training philosophy completely changed everything Red thought he knew. During the final stretch, Tom told him not to use the whip. Instead, he should completely loosen the reins and let Seabiscuit race on instinct. After several training runs, they noticed something unusual. Whenever Seabiscuit ran by himself, he looked lazy, almost as if he were taking a walk. But the moment another horse got in front of him, everything changed. His competitive instincts exploded. Every humiliating memory of being forced to lose became fuel for his determination. Tom clicked the stopwatch and stared at the time in disbelief. It was only their first official timed run, yet Seabiscuit had already smashed the track record. Before long, their first real race arrived. The field was filled with horses from the nation's finest stables. Compared to them, this team of underdogs looked completely out of place. From the very beginning, everyone assumed they were only there to make up the numbers. Even the race announcer mocked them without mercy. Before the race, Tom laid out a detailed strategy. Keep your eyes on the gray horse, stay behind him early, save your strength, then give everything in the final stretch.
Once our boy sees who the competition is, he'll do most of the work. But don't move till that gray does.
When the race began, everything went according to plan. Red calmly guided Seabiscuit, staying right behind the gray horse. But horse racing can change in an instant. A jockey, eager to move up, deliberately slammed his horse into Seabiscuit. It was a blatant provocation. Red's temper flared instantly, and what he did next would change both his life and Seabiscuit's forever.